Only thing for Nigerians right now, like for youth, like on the social media,
That's
that's
what we
where we
got.
go on to air our opinion. So when they regulate this social, it's like killing us. So on top today, and guys, we've got this question: is social media regulation needed in Nigeria?
Man, I would love to start this conversation because that's basically my office, right? So it's impossible, right, to actually regulate social media bills or to create bills that regulate social media usage in Nigeria because if that happens, there'll be some sort of autocracy or like dictatorship setting that would eventually happen because they would do it for their own selfish interest. For the fact of, oh, so I cannot insult Buhari's skull today, or I cannot, talk about the ills and wrongdoings of people that are political office holders in Nigeria. And if that is also done, it would sort of, it will make data very expensive. That's what's going to happen. Because I know they do it in like some African countries where they sort of regulate their internet usage. Mm-hmm. I think it's Rwanda or somewhere. I can't remember.
South Korea.
No, in
like
Africa.
Like they have countries like that. And now the terrible thing is, let's say there is some sort of civil unrest or a war happening in this country, the government can shut down the internet without the entire world knowing. Mm-hmm. So that sort of puts us back into a particular age where we're just back to, if they say we should move, we move. If they say we should not move, we don't locomote. So it would, so I feel like it would be a very messed up thing for them to do. That's where I earn like the bulk of my income from, daily, weekly, monthly. So when you decide to regulate that kind of thing, now I'm not speaking from the point of, this is where I make my money from. I'm speaking from the general point of every young Nigerian. Do you understand? You sort of make things unbearable for them because that's basically where most people decide to find solace in a very frustrated country that doesn't work.
Only thing for Nigerians right now, like for youth, like on the social media,
that's
where
we
go on to air our opinion. So when they regulate this social, it's like killing us. Because number one, so many youths are actually even finding their careers on this social media in a way of getting back at the government.
Yeah.
Like we have comedy skits that have to do with the government, that have to do with our bad roads, no lights kind of thing. So when you regulate these things, how else do they want us to be able to air our views? It's not possible. So I think that social media, it's important. We will riot. If it happens, me and
and even if riot, they will not know because they can shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
So now they know
that means we'll be limited to Oshe Bades. All those people.
Yeah, I'm not for restriction of social media, but I believe there should be a maybe like
some sort of
little tweak for control because cyberbullying is a thing.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So some people, just because they have data and a phone, they turn to
misbehaving.
Yeah, they just misbehave.
Not comment section people.
Exactly.
And we don't have empathy on social media. You just come and you feel like because you're on the other end of the phone, you want to put a comment. Someone you don't know, you don't even know anything about the person. You just come and put brrr. And the thing is, most of these people are guilty of the same thing. Do you understand? But for me, I feel like that is one place where, we can do like a lot of positive stuff career-wise, we can. Yes.
So you're saying you're talking about people attacking celebrities, right? Like
not just celebrities. Anybody.
But celebrities are the ones that fight the most. So one thing I feel like about being popular, you don't expect everything to be rosy for you.
Good.
When you're popular, basically what you're saying, you're putting yourself out there, and whatever you get, that's part of your job.
Even
your
without
job
being
is
popular,
you sitting.
and another thing, you feel the person is a hater. from the person's point of view, his have views or his or her views.
Thank you.
That he or she has a right and opinion
Yes.
to.
So you now saying, okay,
Wait,
How do you
just like saying,
because I'm just seeing some very nasty.
Yeah.
Wow.
And everyone is trained.
You just
The truth
sit and
is
start
that-
wondering, like, is this person even normal?
Yeah.
How can you just sit up and write some really very nasty?
that's to you,
Comments.
but the person writing it, that's the person's
I'm
opinion.
telling you,
Wait,
the person
You
feels.
as a person, when you see, what the best you
see.
can do is when you see such hateful comments and you just overlook it.
So can
About
they regulate?
It's not easy to overlook. Oh.
Wait,
Popular people, they shouldn't expect everybody to like them on social media. It's left for you to know if you pay attention to your haters or you ignore them, whichever one works for you.
So,
if you don't want, if you know you cannot bear it and you cannot overlook, just
see,
can I say
whether
something?
whether or not we're aware,
okay.
social media, they all have regulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I want? It's already regulated.
Yeah.
And
And
personally,
depending
as
on-
long as I subscribe to control of social media, I wouldn't want that to be left in the hands of Nigerian
The government.
Government.
Yes.
Because if
Or any
let's
government
be
at
like,
all.
how many laws have our government made that are actually useful
Reasonable.
or reasonable?
One.
So
Which
now,
one?
if you leave them to, I'm sure they will censor it in a way that
It will
you can't.
benefit
No,
them.
it's,
Which one?
no. Maybe that whatever you say, just like
I'll ask you
just
when
like
I'm
our
done.
laws on treason and sedition. Do you know what I'm saying? So they can tweak it in a way that whatever you say, because it becomes a treasonable
But
offense.
wait,
I
so
actually agree to what Lucas is saying. Sorry to cut you short, please. Because if you actually look into this thing very well, you know most of these social media handles, this social media platform like Instagram, Facebook, they already have a regulatory board. That's why most times you have the choice to actually report a post and then you check it and see if they take it off and all that. But Nigeria, this is our country, we are very creative. You understand? When
In a very funny
it's just
way.
like you give person Mata, they turn out to Matthias. Or you give person 10 QD, they find very much. You understand? Imagine Nigeria as a whole will start regulating social media. There's a whole lot of things will be restricted from doing.
Yes.
And for crying out loud, do you know there's some people that social media is their office? That is the only place they get money from.
what Mena said, like her point, like on the other hand, we youth self, our own is too much. You understand? Like the way some people are already depressed from being on social media. Okay, fine, I post my picture, I know fine. It concerns you. Do you know how many people who have killed themselves in this country because of what somebody else that don't even know you, doesn't even know your background?
Just uploaded a picture
Oh, my daughter. If you see the kind
of her
thing they write
daughter and
about
see
the
what
baby,
people were saying about her.
she was
Now,
crying.
me, I'm not even.
Abeg, leave that.
Okay, look at
Let me say something. I'm not against the
No,
government.
no, see, there's
placing-
something.
She's
No.
fucking being dramatic.
No,
Why
there's
would you
something-
cry
Can I
because someone
say
called you
something?
ugly?
No, there's something.
And you are crying, you are recording it. That's come on, that's hypocrisy for all of us.
Hold on.
We all cry in private. Why do you have to record it and
Let's not even go into
Okay,
that.
now you're judging. You're doing the same thing now. Because
She didn't make the video to cry. She made the video, she was talking about the person insulting her daughter. So all of a sudden she got emotional.
Yes, I said
and
right.
cried.
But chill.
Let's not even go.
Chill.
Let's not even
Why
go
me?
into.
I'll not say I'm not empathic about her. Yeah, all of that. But then when someone insulted your daughter, what's it concern you?
And so
How
what?
does that affect you?
I
Why do you have to
I understand.
chill first? Why do you have to
People take things differently.
start a live video? Who are you explaining to?
I
You
understand.
don't
okay, now you're being judgmental.
In all of this.
You know
That's the way you react. People's reaction is different to situations.
If we start taking
Can I say
our
something?
personal struggles on social media, what's not the
The boss coming on live video to cry about someone hitting on her daughter makes no sense to me, because you know your daughter is beautiful. Then a clown somewhere says something and you are reacting to it. You're giving the person credibility by coming online and showing that it actually touched you. Tomorrow the person will try it again.
Yes, I understand that. I understand your point. All I'm trying to say in all of this, all I'm trying to say is, see, I don't know, as humans, do we even have what they call, because some people don't understand empathy. Do you get? For example, I was having a conversation about someone on social media, and then this person, okay, let's even assume that this person has the worst character. She doesn't have manners. She's this, is that, and all of this. Then the person now, you know, some people on social media, when they now see you, okay, for example, now maybe today I post like all bikini pictures, and then tomorrow I start dressing corporate. They can never put that one in their mind. I've changed. Is that bikini?
Bikini.
You can never change. You're a bad person. You're the worst. You've not met these people personally. You don't know them in real life. You just have this picture of social media.
Social media, you get what you give.
Why would you care about someone's opinion?
Okay, fine. You're talking about yourself and bikini pictures. I'm talking about the government now.
There are some comments you just can't ignore. They will get to you.
That's the thing.
Even when you're
So,
some will get to you.
Instagram made this thing very simple for you.
Then
Right.
drop comment.
If you cannot deal with it, sis,
Turn off
comments.
But now I feel like we are taking it from the personal point of view.
Yes,
This is
like
for the government
that's what I'm
regulating.
saying.
The government doesn't
Like,
care
if you-
if
okay.
you are being bullied. They're only saying it because
Let's not even put it in the
When it comes to the government,
Look
that's
at
what I'm talking
Sweden.
about.
Even America,
Just allow me talk.
hasn't regulated
It's not.
social media.
No. It's good. They have actually on Facebook. There was this time my auntie got arrested because of a comment on Facebook, and it has to do with American government. They came to her house, they knocked her door, asked some questions. Yes.
She did this.
Okay.
No, she's not in
she's in the
Nigeria.
US.
Can I say something?
Let me
Now,
talk about the government. So
I agree. I
And
would, I would
Nigerian
like
youths.
the government actually to place a regulation.
Thank you,
on social
because-
media. You know why?
a reasonable
When they do that,
regulation.
they should make sure they do it very well. Now, Showore will post something about Buhari. The next day you see DSS.
So they have
Next
never
one,
posted everything. They already arrested.
DSS will
So
come
it
to your
doesn't
door.
Cut it.
So they are that good, they can trace you. Meanwhile, Boko Haram will drop a video. They can't even trace the IPS address.
If the government wants to put a regulation or place something as such, it should be partial and they should know what they want to do and they should do it right.
Let's
Yes,
let them do the right thing. You
Yes.
get? I'm not against them
Focus on the
doing
right.
that. You get?
But that's
but
not
they
even-
should do the right thing.
That's not a function
keep
of
post-
regulation.
that's
That's
all
a
those videos
function
coming
of
from.
them being
So guys,
double
That aside, that aside, if
I
you
feel
go,
like
if
they
you go on
choose-
Twitter now,
they
if you
choose
go
They
on
choose
Twitter now-
who to
To
say
deal with.
who to
something.
deal with.
Can I say, if you go on Twitter now, it's just like that place is where people go to drop
Just
whatever
drop.
they want.
Twitter, it's
You
known
just go
for
Twitter,
what
you
it
see
is.
people talking anyhow. You go to Facebook, see people saying anything they want to say because okay, they feel they can just say anything.
So one thing you guys are not understanding, the government has no business with social media.
Thank you, Kosi.
Nothing concern government.
Nothing
Social
concern-
media is.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yes,
You're
no,
wrong.
that's the truth.
You won't say
So for
the
example,
government
North Korea,
has no.
North
No.
Korea,
I'm
right?
telling you, you're
North Korea,
wrong.
The government is really into their social media life. Like there's some websites you cannot visit. There are some apps you cannot use.
Even
There was
even
this guy,
China.
chill, there was this
Even
American
China.
guy that does these videos around the world. So he went to North Korea to like know what's happening there. There are some apps he had to delete from his phone before he could enter the border.
Even China.
This is North Korea. North Korea.
I'm
Now
telling
our
you.
Nigerian government that we know that we are the worst of the worst, you now give them that power. Sis, they will create account for you.
They have the
Put something
password.
in your name and say you're the one that posted
Instagram
it.
from
Like 50% of Nigerian youths or every youth in the world, we live most of our life online, right? Now you give someone the power to dictate what you can do or what you cannot do, what you can say and what you cannot say. Basically, we are into the military rule again. That's what it entails. So the government, a government of any nation, Nigeria especially, has no concern with our social media life at all.
Like me, I don't have issues with them placing any regulation, but they should do what's right. That's just
Nigerian
my-
government has never been known to do what's right.
They should just do what's right. That's my own. If you want to place a regulation on social media,
See,
do the right thing.
for me, I think that there should be some sort of regulations, but I don't trust our government with making
Yes.
right regulations towards it. Now, what particularly towards, let's talk about racism or tribalism. Some people could push tribal agenda or racial agendas
Yeah.
on social media. So if
They
Twitter
don't.
or if there's a maybe like accounts could be deactivated for making such maybe like bigger states, you know what I'm saying? And those are the kind of regulations.
It's in place already now. It's in place.
Okay.
It's in place, right?
So Twitter,
Yeah,
Twitter.
But then I wouldn't subscribe to making any laws that will restrict our freedom of expression.
and speak.
But no, but that's the main purpose of this entire topic, right? The government would not put a bill in place because they feel you are cute and nobody should insult you.
Yeah.
They're putting it in place because they want to cover their own asses.
Yes.
Right? So if they are to do a bill of such, it would not only encroach on your fundamental right to freedom and to speech. Because you know that what most people actually do every day is to criticize the government. We're only just a few people that would focus on the entertainment part of it. Other people are basically just out there, calling out their bullshit. So if there's a regulation in place for that, they know that there is always going to be some sort of exposure on them. And that's how CNN and BBC and Al Jazeera picks up all these things based on what people are actually putting out there. So they will do a regulation, which is the truth, based on where we are going to now. Because they don't want you to keep putting out things that are happening in the country to like the Western world. So when it happens, there would be total shutdown. So there are some things you cannot say that when you say us just tweet send, like before you know, boom, they've come to knock down your door and in jail for that. If it was being regulated in Nigeria and other countries, we would not have been aware of shit that is happening. There's coronavirus amongst other things to be worried about. If it's regulated and if it were to be one of all those conspiracy theories, right? And the government was involved in it, they will just shut down the internet. You don't know what's happening. When there's regulated internet almost everywhere, you don't get to know all these things. You don't get to read up on these things. And even when you are aware of them, you're unable to put out word because you cannot send out a simple broadcast message because they've already kept kind of regulation for when you can be online and when you cannot be online. For as much as possible, I do honestly hope that there is no regulation in place for that. They can have maybe some sort of cyber bullying laws that sort of like attack some issues or one or two things, but it shouldn't be.
Nigerian government we are so bad that the government will now, that's even where my own mind is going to. The government will create an account, post your pictures, load your pictures on that account, say things, and now say you are the one that said it.
Okay.
Our government can do it.
You know, when it comes to Nigerian government, they will do anything to protect themselves.
Yes.
You know, have you ever, when you bring out the truth, they don't want anything that will expose them. So, do you get? So when we don't even have that means of, this is what we are going through, because that is the only place you get to see, when there is anything. And even people raise funds for, people help people through this. Good things are happening there. So, when they see these things happening, they look for a way. Because for me, even from when they banned this sugar rush movie, I feel like that was one of the reasons why they had to, stop that movie.
So they actually even banned it because it was showcasing
their
EFCC weakness.
Showcasing a lot of shit that's happening in the so that they will only do these things in their favor. Why don't you correct? Because we're complaining about something. So why don't you actually focus on that instead of coming to regulate, what we are doing?
They see it as an attack as opposed to criticism.
Yes,
and based on what you said, right? If the government should decide to regulate, I bet you they would monetize it.
Yes.
So they will turn it to, before you can tweet past 8 o'clock, you have to pay like a particular tax.
Thank you.
And for you to be able to use particular application, you have to pay. So they will always find a way to monetize it.
And they will turn it into a political vendetta.
Yes.
So if there is
if on their side,
an opponent that they know is for the people, they will use social media to attack that person.
Yes.
They will discredit that person so much that we will not even want that person in the office again. So the government can twist it.
Okay.
Well, for me, I really do not want them to regulate that. I just want us to be free. As a great place to be free. That's what you want. Tell them something about that. Laugh. Let us enjoy it. Please, that's the only place we laugh. When I'm having a bad day and I go there, I'm always laughing. Like, I'm always yes, you just have fun.
When it comes to social media, over the years, it's been like the platform for a whole lot of voices.
Yes.
Like you can be in your house, something is maybe see this instance of the lady that was in Lebanon that actually
the housemaid.
Yes. You understand? So people because a whole lot of people don't have money to go to a TV station or a radio station.
Exactly.
Even Sudan, same thing happened in Sudan.
In the comfort of wherever you are, you have the phone and the internet. You put the message out there and it reaches millions of people. You understand? And I can bet that if our government start regulating social media, there will be a curfew. 8 a.m. to maybe 3 p.m. After 3 p.m. everything is locked down. So imagine this situation where somebody has something to say at that time. You know you can't because
you schedule your tweet now.
Schedule
it to the next day.
Something that happened around like 5 p.m. Imagine something is going on somewhere. There's no way you
can't be breaking news again.
There's no way you can tell people that don't pass also place.
What is happening in Kaduna?
It's really crazy.
So guys,
Even for things as little as traffic.
Like she said, I feel like we should really look into this thing of I feel like every day the numbers of trolls on Instagram, maybe
Twitter.
Instagram,
Twitter.
every social media, that is the one, increases. people just see you and say nasty things. And the different
Data is cheap now.
People go through a lot. Sometimes when you see these things, sometimes
Anybody
they
can
break you.
open
Because it's really
your
sad.
account.
It's very, very sad.
I think that's why I would say, you see this social media regulation thingy, I don't go against it, but the part where I go against it is when the regulation rules are not allowing the youth to be able to speak out.
That is the first thing.
Wait, that's you might not see, you could according to what he said, every social media platform has their own regulations. Okay, what if they should just give the normal regulation, like you can't do like what you said, people that just talks to people, like you can't do this, you can't do that.
They have all those
it's
things
not
in
allowed.
place.
Fine, but no, it's all over the whole place. But this country we are in Nigeria, I know that freedom of speech, but later the freedom after speech,
They no go assure you.
we are not guaranteed that. Anything can happen. So you guys, you can go there and say what you want to say. Say, please, I don't have money for bail. It's not free. Just passing
That's how
by.
you put a caveat. Now, come and carry them. They say it's all banned. It be things.
So, but if, for example, on your social media, Instagram, for example, and trolling affects you so much, like I always say, turn off your notification.
That's the funny thing about me.
No, without even, so you don't even see it at all, it affects your psychology.
No, even
So just turn off your,
something, just don't comment. You can't turn off your comment.
yeah, you turn off your comments.
No, you know what makes me depressed on
affects you
social
so
media?
much.
Sometimes I just take out my time to go under Instablog and read comments.
Yes, on
No,
Insta.
you
I only
know
read
that
comments.
what-
I'm not even interested in the article.
Because you are concerned.
No, don't take out. I just want to see how people actually
I don't
reason,
drop
how they
pictures
think.
there.
One particular place I like.
You are
Just go there. This one,
I
they are
actually
not-
go to Instagram to save my picture there, so I don't have any.
No.